So welcome to the Android OSGI demo. And the purpose of the Android OSGI demo is to show the work effort that I've done so far in integrating together several technologies. What I have here is an application called Miracle Worker, and what it's designed to do is allow users to dynamically interact with devices which surround them within their home environment. Some definitions. The app that I've created is a container application. Within the container application is going to be various views that are going to be played. The app implements a number of different technologies, including Java, OSGI, OSGI Event Management, OSGI Remote OSGI implementation, Service Discovery, iPojo, which is injectable plain old Java objects, a View Factory, and then Android itself. There's a server side of the component, and there's a client side of the component. Within the server side, there's an OSGI container, and inside the OSGI container, we're running a service location protocol bundle, remote OSGI, event management, discovery, and a remote service definition that's implementing thermostat, energy management, and TV interfaces. So all of those things are managed in the context of an OSGI container, and there could be multiple of those within a home environment. If you can zoom in here, the interface that's implemented by all of the services on the server side is called Remote Service Definition. And you can see it's just a Java interface. There's methods in here to get the service name, get my name. There's get jar to download the jar. Get my address for the IP address of the specific implementation. There's a jar list that you can download, so get a list of strings. There's a get data object and set data objects. Notice these are sort of opaque interfaces that are provided to the remote server. This way they can be genericized. You can pass basically any kind of object across that interface, and it'll be streamed from the remote side to the server. What's interesting about this, amongst other things, is that in order for an Android client to speak with a Java service, it needs to be able to speak in Dalvik format on the Android side and bytecode on the Java side. So in order for that to work, I had to modify the DX application on the Dalvik side, the Android side, so that I'm dynamically dexifying the binary files that are coming from the interface on the server side to the client side in real time. So if one were to ask for a hash object to be passed across, it'll come across the interface, and when it arrives in the stub delegate on the client side, I've added code that will dynamically turn it into Dalvik format. So I'll show you a demo of how the solution works now. There are multiple projects here at work. What I have here is my Android development environment, and I have here is my Marvell Android tablet, and I have here is a embedded Linux environment upon which I'm running an OSGI container with a number of services. The services that I'm running are the simple OSGI test for Android here in the application in my project, which implements the remote service definition, and it has a number of apps. TV, thermostat, and energy management are the ones we're going to be demoing. Service Consumer is the main guts of the application on the Android side in terms of discovery. It's the thing that's going to interact with these remote services and download those jar files and then start those jar files. So without further ado, what we'll do is we'll kick off Miracle Worker, and we're going to start the Miracle Worker from my development environment here. What you'll see is a bunch of trail coming out of my output. You'll see searching for Miracle Worker devices on the Marvell Android display while it's out multicasting around the network. You'll see that over here I've got a bunch of trace statements coming out as it's trying to find it found one, it found the server. It's going through and now downloading all of the jar files from the server. As soon as it downloaded the jar files from the server, it instantiated the jar files. When it instantiated the jar files, I have a listener looking for View Factory interfaces. The View Factory interfaces are implemented by each of these services. starting off an elementary service with TV, I'm just going to do a simple get TV channel. What that's doing is it's calling a remote service from whence it came, returning channel 8, and just displaying it on the screen here. That's a very elementary service. Energy management is the same way. I've built the same type of interface where it'll go into the energy level, it'll call and get back the energy level from the remote side, and display it on the screen. What's important here is to recognize is that the GUIs that you just saw for energy management and TV were not loaded on the Android device when we started the Android device. They were downloaded from the remote service and then implemented, instantiated, and shown within the container application, which is Miracle Worker. I wanted to be able to show that you can do a 2D graphic as well, something more sophisticated, so we built the thermostat interface based on mindtherobot.com's graphical user interface for a gauge. I use a down arrow key here, and I'm interacting with the server the whole while. If you look over here at the tail output from the server side, as I'm hitting buttons, you notice that the temperature is being set on the server side and responded to on the server side. So I go back here to the GUI, you'll notice that the temperature gauge changing in relation to the temperature going up. All of this again was served up by the remote OSGI server container on the server, and it's not a remote user interface, it is the code that will execute within the Android instance. So thank you very much. That was the demo of the Android OSGI solution, and I was enjoying providing it to you. Thank you.